and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the Goodwill Secondary School project is set for completion in November this year. In news from the region, St. Lucia extends tax amnesty to end of December 2027 in an effort to maintain consumer relief measures. And internationally, U.S. President says peace deal with Iran could come in 2 or 3 days. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection ×2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
DBS News.
Welcome back. In our late story this evening, the Goodwill Secondary School project is set for completion in November this year. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit led a delegation to the construction site this afternoon and said the government is satisfied with the progress of the facility. The school is constructed by Chinese firm CCECC.
This is a huge structure that has taken into consideration a number of very crucial elements, the classroom sizes, the various labs, library, and of course the computer room, IT room. Also, physical education is crucial, and the space didn't allow for the usual type facility, but certainly the design has taken that into consideration, and we have created enough space for all of the necessary sports, basketball, netball, volleyball, to take place on the first floor. And of course, the students will have, for other sports, the presence of the Pottersville playing field. You will have seen a mock room. One of the classrooms will have been completed to give you a sense of what the classrooms will look like, obviously unfurnished. The school will come fully equipped and fully furnished once construction is over. And of course, we'll look forward to the completion of the school. This is one of the 6 schools that are under construction. We have in the Thibault Primary School, the Bellevue Chopin Primary School, Siniku Primary. We have the Tetmon Primary, and then we have the Kalibishi Primary. All of the structures have been completed. Internal works are taking place at the various schools. You can see tiling, painting. All of the electricals are in place. All of the plumbing is in place. It's a matter of just putting the fixtures. So things are looking up.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. He says climate resilience was considered in the construction of the new Goodwill Secondary School.
The schools took on the design and the engineering have taken into consideration our vision to build a resilient nation. And so we ensure that this school can survive any catastrophic impact. And of course, students can continue with school immediately after a natural disaster. We'll have water tanks in there, a standby generator. So it's an exciting time for the Goodwill community and of course an educational whole. Having a conducive place for learning is priority number 1 for the government and the Ministry of Education. And this is why we have continuously made efforts to improve the physical structures, the learning centers across Dominica, ensure that all our students can go to a school that is conducive to learning, that is comfortable, that has taken into consideration the temperature in the rooms, etc., etc. And so I want to thank the government of China for this gift of 6 schools, 5 primary and 1 secondary. And of course, one can appreciate the amount of money that the government of China is saving us, because otherwise we would have had to find the monies ourselves. And more than likely would have had to take a loan from an international financial institution to build those schools. So they're really saving us over $100 million of debt.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Secretary of the Police Welfare Association, Zachariah Roberts, has called for a human resource manager for the police force. Roberts told the government pre-budget consultation that a human resource manager would address appointments and other matters affecting the police.
I wanted to also touch on the need for a human resource manager in the police force. We are maybe the second biggest entity, if not the biggest, and we do not have a human resource manager. Before being a police, I was a teacher. I worked in government, in the planning division. I worked with DOMLEC. It's just not functioning as it should. There are a lot of things that get passed through the cracks, and I think had we have a human resource manager, it doesn't have to be a police officer, it could be any civil servant that comes up through the process, they meet the requirements as an HR. It will address a lot of the issues that I still have written before me that I hope maybe we can speak one-on-one in the capacity as the police welfare.
Secretary of the Police Welfare Association, Zachariah Roberts. Mr. Roberts also told the pre-budget consultation that lack of manpower is a concern for the police force.
One of the major concerns we have in the police welfare is our manpower. On the contrary, a lot of people think that police or the Department of Police is always the more recognized area for government or the area that is always dealt with the best. It may appear that way, and we want to commend the government for the assistance, but there are a lot of areas of concern. For example, when you mention manpower, I choose not to make mention of the number of officers that currently work for security reasons, but just think of it when we talk about our population and the number of officers we have in Dominica. Granted that we are one of the most peaceful areas throughout the Caribbean, if not the most peaceful area. But if we're talking about tourism, we're talking about many other areas, increase of persons coming to here, the most paramount importance is national security. But if we are not able to make people feel safe when they come to our country, maybe because of manpower or certain resources, all that we speak about, everything, agro, music, no matter what you talk about, if all these persons or people, even our local people, no longer feel safe, it means nothing.
Secretary of the Police Welfare Association, Zachariah Roberts. The Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DAIC, has called for the introduction of a sliding scale domestic consumption tax on fuel. Natasha Yeloid Labad is Public Relations Officer of the DAIC.
Regarding fuel and energy costs, the DAIC respectfully would like to invite the Ministry to consider the introduction of a sliding scale domestic consumption tax on fuel, one that would automatically adjust the domestic tax components in reverse proportion to the world price. When international prices rise, the domestic tax reduces, and when prices moderate, the domestic rate adjusts upwards, protecting government revenue. And of course, the DAIC is recognizing that this is a challenge that is shared not only by the private sector, but the government also bears additional cost of fuel prices and the increases of that across all of its operations, including electricity, heating, and cooling.
Public Relations Officer of the DAIC, Natasha Yeloid Labad. Leader of the UWP, Dr. Thompson Fountain, has extended the olive branch to party members whom he has said may have been affected in one way or the other. His statement came as division within the party has surfaced in recent months. Fountain said in a statement yesterday that party members must come together to what he calls Rescue Dominica.
Over the past few months, the leadership of the party has worked relentlessly to bridge any semblance of division and to get everyone working together. It is in that same spirit that I want particularly to extend an olive branch to all disaffected members of the United Workers' Party to come together in a conscious effort to trash out any issues that continue to fester. I do not pretend to be a perfect servant, but I'm a public servant committed to taking all ideas on board. The United Workers' Party, under my leadership, is ready to do the work of rescuing Dominica. But true progress will require all of us, supporters, critics, and undecided citizens alike, to come together in the best interest of our country. Let us rise above division, let us demand better, and let us work together to secure a stronger future for Dominica. We can come together to craft an economic revitalization for the country we claim to love. Let us put our egos aside and focus on the needs of Dominica and the several people who depend on us to do the right things.
UWP leader Dr. Thompson Fountain. Dr. Fountain says his UWP has proposed a 10-pillar, which is a roadmap for the development of Dominica.
That is the reason why our party has proposed the 10 pillars to shed economic prosperity for all Dominicans. It is a plan rooted in the resuscitating of the agriculture sector, developing a robust manufacturing sector, commercializing the water industry, fixing our tax system, and providing relief to the high cost of living, among other initiatives. To our supporters, I urge calm, discipline, and focus. We must remain grounded in our purpose and not be sidetracked by provocation. The strength of our movement lies not in noise, but in vision, credibility, and unity. This is not a moment for political gamesmanship.
UWP leader Dr. Thompson Fountain. In other news, zonal coordinator of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, Jean Nichols, has described her recent missionary visit to Dominica as a rewarding and inspiring experience, praising the work of the organization's local members. Nichols, who spent 2 days in Dominica, said her visit was worthwhile.
We have had discussions ongoing, and we had this breakfast meeting where I got a beautiful opportunity to meet with all the executives, the presidents of all the conferences, as well as the National Executive Secretariat. And, for me, I led some discussions, a robust meeting regarding accountability, transparency, regarding what is the call to be a Vincentian, that call to holiness. And I encouraged them, as Vincentians, we have to embrace that call to holiness. So that meeting was really, really good. There was a lot of discussion and questions and feedback on it. Just being here in Dominica, experiencing the beauty of the island, as well as, just supporting all the St. Vincent de Paul conferences on their own Vincentian journey has been a wonderful and beautiful experience. And I just continue to pray God's blessings on this Vincentian journey as Vincentians, as we continue to labor in God's ministry.
Zonal coordinator of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, Jean Nichols. East District Team Green is the winner of the District Disaster Preparedness Relay. The relay took place on Sunday, June 7th at Casabros. Communications Officer at the Office of Disaster Management, Carlisle John Baptist, has more details.
In first place, the East District Team Green. Second place, West District Team Purple. And let me tell you, the competition was very, very close. So the first place is District Team Green. They won with 316 points. The second place, West District Team Purple, came second with 315 points. So that is a 1 point difference. And the third place, Kalinago District Team Yellow, won with 295 points. And to all the other participants, you are all winners in your own rights. You made your districts proud. You did a fantastic job. we now know that we still have a lot of work for us to do.
Communications Officer at the Office of Disaster Management, Kalai John Baptist. That's the national focus, regional and international developments up next.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the government of St. Lucia has approved a major extension of its tax amnesty program, giving taxpayers until December 2026 that's December 2027 to settle outstanding tax liabilities. Speaking at his weekly pre-cabinet press briefing, St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip Japier described the measure as one of the most generous tax relief initiatives ever offered by a St. Lucian administration.
Today also, the cabinet will approve the extended tax amnesty, which will be in effect till December 2027. And what is important to note is that all interest and penalties of taxes due up to December 2025 will be waived. This is probably one of the most generous tax concessions ever. All interest and penalties due on taxes up to December 2025 are going to be waived. We call on the public all taxes, VAT, which is actually collected by businesses for the government and ought to be returned to the government immediately. But the government decided that we understand sometimes that there may be issues, so we're going to be waiving these interest and penalties.
St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip Japier. And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump said today that despite the exchange of strikes between Iran and Israel, a deal to end the war in the Middle East could be reached in 2 or 3 days. Trump said the deal would stop Iran from having nuclear weapons and result in the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz.
They were going back and forth, and now they both agreed through me to stop, and we're in the final throes of what will be a very, very good deal that will not allow in any way, shape, or form nuclear weapons, etc. And the strait will open up right away. It'll open up immediately upon signing, which could be in 2 or 3 days.
U.S. President Donald Trump. That's news, the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Good evening, welcome to the DBS Evening Sport Report. We begin with basketball. The explosive league MVP Shama Felicite and Karim Daniel, one of the most dominant big men in Dominica's basketball, are among a number of players selected for trials as Dominica gets set to participate in the FIBA 2029 AmeriCup Caribbean pre-qualifiers for the first time in July. The tournament will be held in Guyana from July 8th and will feature teams from across the Caribbean, including Bermuda, Haiti, Grenada, Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, Turks and Caicos Islands, St. Vincent, Cayman Islands, and host nation Guyana. The DABA has announced a 21-man squad for the training. The team features some of the top players in the ongoing National League. The top-seeded Dr. Daru Pishne Sports Club Falcons have 4 players selected to the team. They are Yawani Regis, Karim Daniel, Kiwan Thomas, and Ramal Carbon. Representing the Police Sports Club are Daniel Ormond and Nathan Sebastian. Also selected are Thomas Felix from Prowlers and Ethan Boland from Marigot Sunrise. Division 1 MVP Zach Bastian, Sergi Joseph, Maxwell Birmingham, and Lester Langley will represent the Detroit Blazers, while sharp shooter Kirby Nathan and big man Rennie Williams and guards Jaden Scotland and Christian Scotland will represent the BAA Sharks. Shama Felicity, Kelsey Guy, Jacob Barry, and Andel Olivache have been selected from the 767 Dominators, while Sharon Vidal is the lone Division 1 player selected from the West Coast Ballers. Former FIFA official Carlisle John Baptiste believes the new rule changes to be implemented at the upcoming FIFA World Cup will go a long way towards improving the quality of the game. FIFA is set to roll out a number of changes at the World Cup, which gets underway this week. Some of the changes include strict anti-time wasting measures, expanded video assistant referee powers, and new red card offenses.
Well, one thing I can tell you, it will impact the game greatly. And some of the rule changes, you will know the issue of time wasting. Time wasting has become a pivotal role in football across the globe. So often you will find the players attempt to draw down the clock. And so FIFA has also implemented changes to that. So players must be aware of that. Also the goalkeeper has an 8-second rule whereby the goalkeeper has to release that ball within that 8 seconds. And if you fail to do that, it is a corner kick. So, goalkeepers need to be aware of that. Also, the substitution. Some players, what they do, they use the time-wasting tactics and use the substitution to great effect. What FIFA has said that, look, you have to get that substitution out in a timely fashion. If you fail to do that, you will not be allowed to do your substitution in a timely manner. So all in all, basically, the various rules which FIFA has implemented will have a general impact on the further development of the game. And I want to say kudos to FIFA.
Another interesting one is the issue for red cards, second yellow cards, and VAR now being able to review that. Your thoughts on that?
This is a very interesting one because, sometimes a referee may issue you with a yellow card or a red card. And, when you look at it, you may find it is borderline. So as a result of that, VAR will have an influence on that. If the referee would have issued you with a yellow card or a red card, and maybe you are querying that, the referee goes to VAR, VAR looks at it, and VAR takes a decision.
Former FIFA official Carlisle John Baptiste. West Indies captain Shea Hope has stressed the importance of the West Indies being at their best as they look to qualify for the next ICC Men's ODI World Cup. His comments as the Windies didn't manage any points in their last series against Sri Lanka. He says the Windies have to be better in the remaining series as they look to qualify for the World Cup. The West Indies, who missed the last World Cup, are currently 10th in the rankings, 2 positions outside the automatic qualification. The Windies will need to get good results in their next ODI series against New Zealand in July.
Extremely important. I always mention, I would continue to stress it, every single game matters, single game is very important for us. Especially now when I wouldn't say it's crunch time as yet, but the importance of every game, we need to look at it as the last one. So not to put any pressure on the group, but just to put some importance on what we have to do in the next coming days. And like I said before, just got to keep learning from these experiences. I hope that the guys can transfer all the knowledge and the communication that we have amongst each other and put it into more successful performances as a team.
Yeah, finally a quick turnaround. The T20 is starting in a couple of days. What is it that you want to see? Almost like a different group of players, but the penultimate series of the year for T20 is what you want to see from the guys.
Sure, is that already? Again, we just want to see a turnaround. We want to be on the winning end of any series, regardless of the format. We didn't get the success in this ODI series, but we've got some experience that we can bank on. Most of the guys coming off from the World Cup had some success over there. Unfortunately, not the ultimate success, but we got to lean on the experience from the guys, the knowledge that we have as a T20 group, and try to put our best foot forward in terms of turning things around in the series and getting this win in the T20 format.
And that is West Indies captain Shea Hope. The T20 series with Sri Lanka gets underway on Thursday at Sabina Park. Half centuries for Rivaldo Clark, Shakir Paris and Mavendra Dindyal were the highlights for the West Indies Academy in their response to Sri Lanka emerging players' first innings total on day 2 of their unofficial test match in Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka emerging players were bowled out for 356, a good recovery after being 119 for 6 at one point. Anjala Bandara got 163, Johan Lane took 3 for 68, and Ryan Bandu 3 for 45 for the West Indies Academy. The Academy in their turn at the crease were 273 for 5 at stumps on day 2. Rivaldo Clark was not out on 72, Mavendra Dindyal got 60, and Shakir Paris made 55. The scores heading into day 3, Sri Lanka 356, West Indies Academy 273 for 5. The West Indies trailed by 83 runs. The 767 Sports Club Dominators will have their eyes on securing the second seed heading into the DABA Premier League playoffs as they play their final match of the regular season tonight. The Dominators are entering the match in third place in the standings on 13 points, and the win will put them into first place for now, but at least guaranteed that they will finish no worse than second. The Dominators will come up against the winless Marigot Sunrise team as that competition continues tonight. That game tips off at 8 p.m. at the Masak Indoor Facility. The point standings heading into tonight's match, the Dr. Daru Pishne Sports Club Falcons top the standings with 15 points. The Detroit Blazers are second with 14 points, Dominators third on 13, and the BAA Sharks are fourth on 12 points. These 4 teams have qualified for the playoffs. The Police are on 10 points, Trafalgar Prowlers are on 8, and the Marigot Sunrise are on 3 points. They have been knocked out of contention for sport in the playoffs. Back to some cricket. The Women's Caribbean Premier League will expand to 4 teams for the first time in its history in 2026, with the Jamaica Empress team set to join the competition as the newest franchise. Jamaica Empress will compete alongside the 3 founding franchises, Barbados Royals, Guyana Amazon Warriors, and Trinbago Knight Riders, when the tournament gets underway from September 5th to the 17th. All matches will be played in Barbados. Under the revised format, each team will face the other 3 sides once during the round robin. The team finishing at the top of the standings will advance directly to the final, while the teams placed second and third will meet in a playoff to determine the other finalist. The England captain Ben Stokes will meet with his advisors on Wednesday to decide on his future, as there are fears that he could retire from international cricket following an incident at a nightclub on the weekend. England has delayed in announcing their squad for the second test against New Zealand, which starts on Wednesday, after Stokes and fast bowler Gus Atkinson broke team curfew and were involved in an incident with a rugby player at a nightclub. The incident left an England security officer needing stitches. For now, Stokes and Atkinson are expected to incur a suspension and fines, perhaps even ruling them out of the rest of the New Zealand series. And the Lord's pitch for the first test between England and New Zealand has been rated as unsatisfactory by the International Cricket Council, with the historic venue also given 1 demerit point. England completed a 115-run win on Sunday, but the surface was incredibly difficult for batting. The match could have been over inside 2 days if not for bad weather. The unsatisfactory rating is the second lowest grading available to the ICC, beaten only by on feet. As Lord's does not have any previous demerit points on its record, it is not at risk of any further immediate punishment from the world's governing body. Well, that's it for the sports report for this evening. I've been the presenter, Arlian Christopher, on behalf of the entire news and sports department, saying good evening.
Accidents are a fact of life, but traffic accidents can be prevented with a sober mind. Please, don't drink and drive. A message from the Dominica Emergency Medical Technicians Association and this station.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
6:30 in the studios of DBS Radio. It is time for the Community Bulletin Board, and we will begin with 3 death announcements. We announce the death of Frederica St. Louis Esprit, better known as Clara, age 71, of Dubla, who resided at Bells. She died on Saturday, 30th May, at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. She was the wife of Joseph Esprit. She was the mother of Debbie Deborah St. Louis, Jeremiah, and Neville Canoville. She will also be remembered by her sisters Jacqueline, Clemencia, Frances, Shirley, Margaret, and Josephine. Brothers Edison, Charlesine, Philip, and Albert. Grandchildren, nieces, nephews, uncles, and aunts, names too numerous to mention. The body of the late Frederica St. Louis Esprit, better known as Clara of Dubla, who resided at Bells, can be viewed from 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, 11th June, at the St. Joseph Seventh-day Adventist Church. The funeral service will take place at 3 p.m. and to be followed by interment at the Layo Burial Grounds. We announce the death of Davina Fritz of Monrachet, who resided in Roseau. She died on Sunday, 31st May, at her residence. She was the mother of Theodore Bellot and Helen Bellot. She will also be remembered by her brothers Eustace, Raymond, Filbert, Allington, Fritz, Lennox Bedno, and Jackson James. Son-in-law Niniola Aderibigbe. Grandchildren Sabrina Aderibigbe, Jadisola Aderibigbe, and Justice Aderibigbe. Relatives and friends, names too numerous to mention. She was preceded in death by her brothers David, Kenneth, Peter, and her sister Maureen Fritz. The funeral of the late Davina Fritz of Monrachet, who resided at Roseau, will take place on Wednesday, 10th June at 10 a.m. at Our Lady of Fairhaven Cathedral Chapel, and will be followed by interment at the Roseau Catholic Cemetery. And we announce the death of Kendall Henry Jr., better known as Swagger or Royalty King, age 27, of Maho. He died on Thursday, 4th June. The funeral arrangements of the late Kendall Henry Jr., better known as Swagger or Royalty King of Maho, will be given in a subsequent announcement. The management and staff of the Dominica Broadcasting Corporation extend the deepest condolences to the family of the late Frederica St. Louis Esprit, better known as Clara, age 71, of Dubla, who resided at Bells. Davina Fritz of Monrachet, who resided in Roseau. And Kendall Henry Jr., better known as Swagger or Royalty King, age 27, of Maho. 26 minutes before 7. Stay tuned for the general announcements on the Community Bulletin Board. Notice is given that the 52nd Annual General Meeting of Shareholders of Domlec will be held at the St. Alphonsus Parish Hall, Goodwill, on Thursday, 11th June at 9 a.m. to transact the following business. To receive and adopt the minutes of the 51st Annual General Meeting held on 5th June 2025. To receive the Chairman's report for the year ended 31st December 2025. To receive the audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2025